দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি নিটল ডাটা মুখোমুখিতে। আজকে আমরা কথা বলবো জাতিসংঘের বিশ্ব খাদ্য কর্মসূচির আবাসিক প্রতিনিধি ক্রিস্টা রেডারের সাথে। ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
From the very beginning, WFP is looking very cautiously at the Rohingyas and trying to manage foods. Isn't it difficult?
It's been challenging, definitely. But WFP has had a presence in Cox's Bazar since the early 90s, since the earlier wave, and we have always maintained a sub-office there. So when the massive influx started in the end of August 2017, we were there and we were able to respond immediately with very basic food commodities, initially biscuits, which we distributed to new arrivals, but then we immediately also came up with rice distributions.
This is the biggest refugee camps in the world, if I'm not wrong, and WFP is taking everyday challenge. I mean, how prepared you are or you were?
I think we have been pretty well prepared given that there was such a sudden scale up. And I must also say the government of Bangladesh has been incredibly cooperative. They immediately gave rice on loan to the World Food Programme so that we could immediately distribute rice, which we then gradually paid back or are still paying back from the donations we receive from donors.
Okay, and from the very beginning till now, it's almost a year. So there was initial need. There will be some midterm need, and there will be some long-term need. What's WFP's plan in this regard?
Initially, we had a plan from September up to February. We had a need of about $88 million, which was almost entirely funded. We have still some loans to repay to government, as I had just explained. And now, for the new phase, we need for 10 months $243 million. This is largely for food distributions, but also some for engineering work, which we are doing to make the place more flat so that we mitigate the risk of landslides.
What are the particular foods you've been given?
We do not provide food to the local people. We provide training to ultra-poor women, and we provide monthly cash transfers to maintain their subsistence, and this is about $9 per person, and then $10, and then not per person, it is per household.
Oh, per house.
We provide it per woman who participates in the program. And then after a couple of months, when a business plan is developed, the woman gets about 15,000 taka.
Okay.
So with this 15,000 taka, they establish an income earning activity. And then after 2 years, branch off in different income earning opportunities, maybe something for the husband, something for them. And then they can make it on their own.
Right, that's a very great initiative. But how long you can continue? Because I mean, if you need monthly 24 millions for the next 10 months, and these people are not going back within the next 10 months, maybe next 10 years, or maybe as early as possible. But you will need continuously money to feed all these people, to help all these people.
This is
Don't you think it's a big challenge?
Challenging question you are asking me. We will most likely not be able to maintain such assistance over years, so we will need to look for medium-term options. Option is, of course, and ultimate aim is that they return to their home, but this will not go that fast.
Yes.
So in the medium term, there is a need to look for income earning opportunities so that at least those who can work can maintain themselves or can partially maintain themselves. And that we focus more in a targeted manner towards those who cannot. That would be the women-headed households. This would be the elderly population among the refugees.
On this discussion, we have to take the first break and then we'll come back. দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম ক্রিস্টা রেডারের সাথে, বাংলাদেশের জাতিসংঘের বিশ্ব খাদ্য কর্মসূচির আবাসিক প্রতিনিধির সাথে। প্রতি মাসে যে রোহিঙ্গারা রয়েছে তাদেরকে খাওয়াতে WFPর প্রয়োজন $24 মিলিয়ন। এটা উনি প্রথম 10 মাসের, চলতি বছরে 10 মাসের কথা বলছি, কিন্তু সামনেও আরো অর্থের প্রয়োজন হবে। সেটা অবশ্যই WFPর জন্য একটা বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ, এবং সেই চ্যালেঞ্জকে সামনে নিয়ে তারা এগিয়ে যাচ্ছে। আলোচনার এই পর্যায়ে একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, সাথে থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পর। আমন্ত্রণ আরও একবার নিটুল টাটা মুখোমুখিতে। কথা বলছিলাম জাতিসংঘের বিশ্ব খাদ্য কর্মসূচি বাংলাদেশের কান্ট্রি রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ রিচার্ডের সাথে। ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো ওয়ান্স সেকেন্ড। সো বিফোর দ্য ব্রেক উই বিন টকিং দ্যাট your challenge is there. I mean, every day is a challenging day for WFP because there are a lot of pregnant women, child, newborn babies, old men, maybe some sick midwives. I mean, a lot of people, and they are, you know, if you look at them, it's very clear they're not having healthy foods. They doesn't know about nutrition. So, isn't it challenging for you?
It is definitely a challenge. We are providing food assistance every day to more than 800,000 people. About 600,000 get basic food commodities. This is rice, pulses and oil. And 200,000 have electronic vouchers. And they can go to designated shops and go shopping with these vouchers and have a choice amongst 19 food items.
Okay.
The idea is that we shift all the refugees towards this electronic voucher system so that there is a diversity in the food they consume. Then we have especially vulnerable groups, and these are, as you have already pointed out, the pregnant women, the breastfeeding women, and it's the small children, the children below 5 years.
Right.
So we very much encourage women to eat better during pregnancy, and we provide them with specialized food. This is a wheat soya blend which is fortified with micronutrients and is also mixed with vegetable oil. Then we encourage them to breastfeed their children, exclusively breastfeed in the first 6 months, and after that give appropriate complementary food. We know they do not have a big variety of food, so we also give a special food which is again based on wheat and soya blend and fortified for the children to have proper nutrition. Plus we encourage the women to provide some vegetables which they can possibly access. The limitation really is increasingly the cash for them to access fresh foods.
Let's talk about the monsoon. How prepared you are for the monsoon? And is it going to be scary?
The monsoon is another dimension. We cannot predict how heavy it will be, and we cannot fully predict what the effects will be. But we are now trying our very best to mitigate any potential effects of the monsoon, especially landslides. We are having activities in which we employ refugees and local population to stabilize the slopes, to establish drainage channels, also to make steps with sandbags so that people can walk up and down the hills. And we have a bigger engineering project together with IOM and UNHCR that are responsible for site management. And the government has recently allocated additional 500 acres of land, and on these 500 acres, a portion we have now managed to level out so that there are no more slopes. And on them now, I saw 2 days ago, about 500 families, so about 2,500 people can already be settled. It hasn't happened yet, but it can happen now. We hope that the monsoon rains will not be too strong and that we do not have this massive challenge of landslides.
God help us. On this discussion, I have to I have to go for another break, and then we'll come back and discuss more. দর্শক, আসছে বৃষ্টির মৌসুম সত্যিকার অর্থে রোহিঙ্গাদের জন্য একটি আশঙ্কার কারণ হয়ে দাঁড়াতে পারে, বিশেষ করে তারা যেখানে থাকছে সেখানে নানান ধরনের প্রাকৃতিক দুর্যোগের কারণে তারা হয়তোবা আবারও সাময়িক বাস্তুচ্যুত হতে পারে। সেই জন্য সরকার সহ সকলে কাজ করছে, সেই সংখ্যা নিয়ে আমরা কথা বলছিলাম। আলোচনার এই পর্যায়ে একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, সাথে থাকুন, ফিরছি একটু পর। মুখোমুখিতে আরো একবার স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। কথা বলছি ক্রিস্টা রেডারের সাথে, জাতিসংঘের বাংলাদেশে বিশ্ব খাদ্য কর্মসূচির আবাসিক প্রতিনিধি। ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো ওয়ান্স अगेन। So there are a lot of challenge, and you also have some challenge globally because a lot of refugees around the world, it's not only in Bangladesh, maybe in the Middle East, Europe, and the money you are looking for, trying to with the money you're going to feed all these people, that money may be splitted, right? There are a lot of, and all the same donors gonna spend all the money. So is it challenging for you?
It is certainly very challenging, but we hope that the donors come again forward, are generous. They know very well that Bangladesh is still developing by itself, faces a lot of challenges, as successful as the country has been. So Bangladesh is a country that cannot deal with this on its own, and it needs the international assistance. We are very hopeful that the donors, there is enough generosity still in the world to help a country like Bangladesh to meet the challenge and to provide food to these very desperate people on a daily basis.
Right. And what are the biggest challenge in the coming days for the next 10 months or for maybe a year? What do you think?
The biggest challenge at the moment is the monsoon preparation and is getting the funding,
Right.
so that we can respond. I think we are ready to provide the assistance and continue to provide until the end of the year for 850,000 people and for the host population, but we need to get the funding, and we need to know that the funding is coming.
I mean, do you think the host population are worried about themselves because maybe all the attention goes to the refugees?
Certainly, and they have shown so much hospitality, and their whole livelihood space has been challenged. You can see when you go to the camps, there are still host population houses in the middle of the camps or on the side of the camps. So they had to sacrifice their land because the camp was established. They have done their bit. And if now they are not receiving support, that may turn over into not being so hospitable anymore.
Right.
So we need to deal with this. And there's a legitimate claim that we also have to assist the host population, which we are doing. We are supporting currently 20,000 households. We
Right.
are supporting them through the women. Providing a livelihood support program with monthly cash transfers over 2 years, and business development training, empowerment of the women, and then a cash grant of 15,000 taka, which they can invest in an income generating activity. So 20,000 women now, and 20,000 women will start in September 2018, makes 40,000 multiplied by their family members. So we are assisting 200,000 of the host population. But for that, we need to get sufficient funding. Plus, we are providing in 5 upazilas of Cox's Bazar school feeding to all school-going children of primary school level. And we are providing nutrition services to pregnant lactating women and to small children in 5 upazilas of Cox's Bazar district. So really to stabilize this district. And if we had more funding, we could go for all of Cox's Bazar district.
I hope you get all you want and people remain calm and hospitable.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
দর্শক, আমরা কথা বলছিলাম বাংলাদেশের জাতিসংঘের বিশ্ব খাদ্য কর্মসূচির আবাসিক প্রতিনিধি ক্রিস্টা রেডারের সাথে। তার শুধু একটাই চাওয়া, শুধু রোহিঙ্গা নয়, রোহিঙ্গাদের কারণে যারা স্থানীয় জনগণ নানাভাবে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হচ্ছে, যে প্রত্যেকে যেন প্রত্যেকের অধিকার প্রতিষ্ঠিত করে তাদের যা যা পাওনা সবাই যেন তাই পায়। দেখা হবে মুখোমুখি অন্য কোনো পর্বে।